Now I'm going to show you guys how to make brownies. So you need 1 cup of melted butter. 1 cup is 2 sticks of butter, or this is a cup. And it needs to be melted, so it needs to be liquid like that. Okay? 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. So this is a tablespoon. You need 2 of these for vegetable oil. 1 cup and 1/4 of sugar. 1 cup of brown sugar. Eggs, 4 eggs. I have 4 eggs. A tablespoon of vanilla extract, so 1 of these again, of vanilla extract. Flour. I have the flour. 1 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder, so this is the chocolate. 3/4 teaspoons of salt. So a teaspoon is smaller than a tablespoon. It's like this, okay? A teaspoon of salt. And a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. That helps it big, and it's a 1/2 teaspoon, so it's half of 1 of these, okay? And then if you want, you can put chocolate chips. You also need a mixing bowl, something to mix it in, and a spatula. Okay, so first we're gonna put our butter, our oil, and the sugar, and mix it in the mixing bowl. Okay, so I have my butter in there. I have my 2 tablespoons of the oil in there. And then I have 1 cup, and 1/4 cup of sugar. Okay, and then 1 cup of brown sugar. I use this from the United States. It has molasses in it. It's just sugar with molasses. Okay, so now I'm just mixing it all together, and I'm ready for the next step. Okay, the next step number 3, says to add the eggs and the vanilla and to mix for 2 minutes. Okay, so I have 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. Okay, so I cracked the eggs, and after I cracked the eggs, I washed my hands. And it's always a good idea when you're working with eggs to put them in another bowl, a different bowl first, so that if you get one that is bad, it won't mess up what you're doing here. Okay, so now I've mixed the eggs and the vanilla into the mixture, and now I'm ready for the next step. Okay, and now it says fold in dry ingredients. That's things that are not wet. Oh no, before that. So you're going to sift together the flour, the cocoa, which is the chocolate, and the salt and the baking powder. So mix that together in a bowl and then put it with the other ingredients. Okay, so 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of cocoa powder, okay, so 3/4 teaspoon of salt, so I need to do this 3 times, and then a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. Okay, and the instructions say to sift it, which means to mix this together really good. This is a sifter. It combines it really well. If you don't have one of these, you can just use a fork. Mix it with a fork. Okay, so that is the dry ingredients. The flour, the cocoa powder, the baking powder, and the salt. So we're going to put our dry ingredients with our wet ingredients. And it says in the directions to fold them. So to fold them is not to stir or to mix, but to fold is to bring it up and flip it over like that. Okay, so there it is. I actually ended up mixing mine because I was not patient. So you can put in candy if you want, M&Ms, nuts, Nutella. I'm just going to put in chocolate chips. And then we're going to put it in the oven to bake. Okay, take a pan, grease it, which means put oil on it, and fill it in. You bake it for about 30 minutes, and you can use a toothpick to see when it's done. If it comes out very, very wet, it's not done. If it comes out a little bit, with a little bit of chocolate on it, it's done. And that is how you make brownies. Put it in the oven, let it cook for 30 minutes, and check it. Now it's your turn. Make the brownies if you can.